Played college tennis in Oklahoma, home state.
Point.
A little bit of luck there. Yeah, no, Chris can stripe the ball up both wings as well as anybody on tour. You know, just kind of getting his feet wet. He and I talked
2-0.
kind of about expectations for these first couple of months, trying to limit them, obviously trying to play our best, but realizing that like a Hunter Johnson, it can take, you know, months competing against the best players to kind of find your competitive rhythm, if you will. So I know he's happy he's gotten this far, but I know he really wants this one here today.
Jack Sock, of course.
0-2.
Olympic gold medalist, four-time Grand Slam winner in pro singles, also former world number 8 on the pro tennis tour in singles. Drop volley. Haworth is on it. Sock recovers. Oh, a couple of big bodies that can move down on the courts. Gritty point for Jack Sock.
Yeah, they both, Chris especially, is a little taller, I think, than Jack. He takes about 2 steps and he's anywhere on the court at one time. Great backhand roller. He misses the easy one there.
Love is up in force.
Side
Chris
out.
Haworth, what's the biggest threat you see in Haworth's game if you're Jack Sock looking ahead?
Yeah, I think Jack's got to move forward. I think that, you know, I give Jack the slight edge on the forehand against Chris, but I give Chris a very big edge on the backhand side. I think Jack has to look to move in because Chris has enough control to get the ball to the backhand every time if he wants.
And he makes it look easy. And you'll notice there a big serve to Jack's forehand, the strength. Chris Haworth has openly shared. Sometimes you hit it to the strength to open up the weakness. I think we saw that starting and setting the tone at the serve.
Yeah, he talked about that a lot.
3-1.
I think when he beat Ben. Same thing against Federico, kind of playing to the strength to open up the weakness, which I think is
Side out.
easier said than done from a mental perspective because you have the tendency to want to hit every ball to the weaker wing, but there's certainly some logic behind that thought process. And tactically, I don't love what Jack's doing thus far, but wow.
What don't you love?
Yeah, I think, again, if they're going to sit back there and just stay at the baseline, I know he just lost the point where he moved forward, but I think if I were Jack, I'm going to look to approach to Chris's forehand once I can put pressure on him. Just a little wide there.
Side out. You can't appeal, you can challenge.
Challenge is available.
1-3.
Won't use it.
Point.
Chris urging himself to stay down again
2-3.
when you're that big. Knee bend is even more important.
Point.
And correction from earlier, Chris Haworth went to Oklahoma State University.
3-3.
Don't sue me, Oklahoma State fans. I know the discrepancy there is a large
They're
one.
pretty serious down there about it. I had a cousin who went to Oklahoma State and a cousin who went to Oklahoma, so. Especially amidst football season, people take those things very seriously.
3-3.
Good adjustment.
Side out.
Yeah, and again, it's really easy to push that approach long when the ball is low. One thing I think Dylan Frazier did really well against me when he beat me in Atlanta was just sort of check swinging those approaches, keeping the ball low. Make your opponent hit up on it.
Side out.
Body shot there from Sock. Probably not used enough in men's pro singles is that ball right at the body. Somebody who I think does that incredibly well is Christian Alshon. Take away the angles.
Wow.
Interesting.
Crafty setup. Yeah.
One of the few. You won't see too many other people going with a half drop shot to open up the forehand pass.
Well, not many people can do what Jack Sock can.
No, he's obviously an incredible talent with any sort of racket in his hand.
I think Sock is his best player when he is being aggressive and creative and not conforming too much to the quote-unquote pickleball way, if that makes sense.
I think you're right. I think in singles especially. I think in doubles, that doesn't quite fly, right? I think that your top players are so good and so refined, and they just don't make unforced errors. In singles, I think his creativity is welcome.
Ooh, just back for Sock.
Side out.
Patient point there, grinding from the baseline again, playing back into the game of Chris Haworth. And it's an interesting shift. Talked about it a little bit with Anik Lohani the other day. Men's singles used to be grip it and rip it, get to the net. And now we're seeing a little bit more of a patient progression from the baseline. Curious after this point, why the trend? What a ball from Haworth. What a pass. Chance to tie it here at 5.
Yeah, and I think that shot is exactly why you've seen a little bit of a change in the meta, if you will. I still think that the person at the line has the advantage with a good approach.
4-5.
The key being with a good approach. I think the thought was always, if you can get to the line, doesn't matter how you hit it, you have the advantage. Don't think that's the case anymore. Players are simply too good at hitting passing shots.
Drop volley, what a time to use it. And that's where Jack Sock is dangerous, as you've been saying, at the net. 2-point lead back on his side.
Yeah, and his hands, his touch at the net, amongst the best in the world, certainly. To redirect a ball with that much pace and just to drop it perfectly in the kitchen is easier said than done.
Four, 6.
Oh my, what a setup.
Side out.
Sock stripes the baseline, down the line, opens it up cross court.
Yeah, that return, I think, hit both lines there. So anytime you do that, you're probably going to hit an easy volley.
6-4.
That's ridiculous.
Wow. Wheels on the newly signed Chris Haworth. Take another look. What'd you see?
I saw a shot that no one else in the world is going to hit ever. A forehand drop shot. Wasn't the best drop shot, but he gets right on the pass, and he's so long that, again, unless you hit a perfect ball, he's going to get a paddle on it. I'd like to see Chris move forward here. Jackson and Grew from the baseline. Jinx, Yomi Asoda.
Side out.
So you go to the net, and situationally, of course, but specifically on the even, where you taking?
Yeah, situationally, I think is what Chris needs to do. He and I even talked about it a little bit, is coming in when it makes sense, but I haven't seen him hit a volley in about 10 minutes.
Well, clearly he is trying to win it from the baseline. So far, so good the last couple of points.
5-7.
No, I think he can win at the baseline. I think it just make Jack hit a couple good passing shots here.
Point.
There's the pressure. And seeing a variety. Jack Sock taking a towel timeout now, calling a real timeout.
Timeout receiver, 6-7.
At 6-7, down a point to the ferocious Chris Haworth, who has chipped away at many of the world's best in singles.
6-7.
Good name for a paddle.
Yes, it is. Meanwhile, Chris Haworth with a big serve. Jack Sock plays it. Could have been deep. We don't know. Feathery slice to try and take Haworth out of it as Sock looks to the sideline to see if that ball was a hair deep.
To be honest, I think they were both in. I think they were both square on the line. All right, you're starting to see Chris move forward.
And covering it well.
I mean, if I were 6'4", you'd find me moving forward all the time.
The luxuries of being that height.
Eight, 7.
I'm pretty
Side
sure
out.
that was the first return that Jack has approached on the entire match, which is wild. No one, and if even a year ago you said that in a quarterfinal
7,
or
8.
round of 16, they wouldn't believe you.
Just why
Side
why
out.
is that?
I just think that, you know, strategically, I think Hunter has kind of been championed as the pioneer of that
8,
movement,
7.
and it's 100% correct. He was the first person standing back and think, wow, that's weird. But now you're seeing more and more and more players do it again. Just because the passing shots are too good, but I think it's about striking a balance.
Point.
Pushes that one wide. I think that's 5 straight for Chris.
You are correct. 2 points to take the first off Jack Sock, who had a hot start, who's shaking his head
9, 7.
mightily in this one.
Side out.
Got to get low, big man.
This is the last singles match of the day. We turn our attention
7,
to
9.
mixed doubles coming up next. Spoke about Hunter Johnson. He'll be in the mixed battle. Drop volley to
Point.
perfection for Jack Sock. Needed that one. Off of 7. Walk us through your perspective, serving on the even side now. Walk us through what Jack might be thinking here. Serve to third.
I think he's thinking big serve,
8,
and I
9.
think he's gonna try to move in here again.
Goes to the forehand.
Chris beats him to it. Oh, and that's
Side
the ball.
out.
I think you're right, though. Who gets to the net first has been determining the rally sequences.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen either player really hit too many clean passing winners. Chris had a couple there. It's just who can move forward at the right
9,
time
8.
and put the big pressure on. It's Chris again.
Point.
Where do you think Chris Haworth will be in the men's singles ranking come season end?
Yeah, I think certainly a top 10 player, week in and week out, incredibly consistent. You know, I think
10, 8.
he's certainly capable of being a top 2, top 3 player. Just about,
Point
again,
game.
getting in a
Timeout,
competitive
change
rhythm
ends.
and you know, building confidence out there, having a couple of these deep runs, so you don't have to play Ben John's first round. Now he didn't have to play Ben initially, but
Game 1 lands on the side of Chris Haworth. We'll dive into what this means for the 57 seed. 1 game
0.
through in your direction. Jack Sock try to rally here in game 2. Out of reach.
Point.
And guess what? Went to the net early and often.
yeah, I think a quick start here from Jack is paramount. He's someone who, when he's hot, he's hot. And if he
1-0.
gets down big, he can tend to sort of lose a little bit of focus. Wow. Ha.
Side
The
out.
lob and the drop shot, both on full display there. Too
love to
much
see it.
reach from the big man on that forehand volley.
I like the spirit that Chris Haworth plays with on the court. Has a measured demeanor about him. Never too high,
0-1.
never too low. Very consistent.
Yep.
Point.
And working Jack Sock once again. The race to the kitchen first continues.
Yeah, the problem there is that if Chris gets the backhand high and he can snap it, it's not coming back. You can play the ball to his backhand when he's at the line, but it has to dip below the net line. As someone who is 2-0 against Chris Haworth, I can attest to that. I think it's me and Jay DeVilliers, maybe. There's been 2 people Chris said that he's ever played who he's never beaten, me and somebody else.
Point.
What a sequence there for Chris Haworth, right on cue.
But he is rolling right now.
What was it about your style of game that worked against him?
Yeah, I think, and Chris would tell you this as well, he can tend to, and maybe he didn't play his best in either of those matches, but he struggles against people that can really pass well off both wings.
2-1.
In Vegas, I think you saw he struggled a little bit with Adam Harvey, who's sort of a similar player. Adam can pass you off the forehand and the backhand side. If you have one wing that is clearly stronger than the other, Chris can really isolate and expose you there. See if Jack can get a little bit of momentum here.
One, 2. Side out.
Tough one.
Sidewinder.
2-1.
Not enough wine.
Gets you every time.
Point.
Followed up with a missed return. Chris Haworth is sailing.
Yeah, and this one could go pretty quickly. We'll see if Jack can mentally stay in it. Otherwise, this will be over in 2 minutes.
Winner
3-1.
will get fed Staxford in the quarterfinals. How's that
Side
for
out.
a hey, how are you? Welcome to the quarters. But let's talk seeding a little bit, Alex. 57 seed right now is Chris Haworth. It's because he is newly signed to the tour, so he has to work his way up the seeding. Points like this in a Grand Slam will be very fortuitous for him moving forward.
Yep.
1-3.
It's a big deal because, again, he was slated to play Ben John's first round.
Yeah, round of
this
64.
tournament. And Ben ultimately didn't play, but yeah, it's massive. I mean, I've had to play Federico in the second round in my first 2 tournaments as a signed player. I won 1, I lost 1, but you know, again, we go back to Hunter. Hunter, it took him a while, and then once you go on one big run, your seed changes dramatically, and the draw opens up for you moving forward. That's silly.
Point.
His ability to spin that backhand is world class. He really uses his left arm, just exaggerates the finish at the last minute to create serious topspin. Yep, that's out.
Side out. Oh, correction. Point.
We talked about the lifetime ball this morning. Haven't mentioned it yet in the Tennis Channel portion of the broadcast. Plays a little bit differently after this point. Love to get your thoughts on how it compares to the other balls used.
I personally love the ball. I think the bounce is incredibly true. At the end of the day, it's a plastic ball, and it's very easy for these balls to go out of round. Have some questionable bounces here and there. It's definitely faster, maybe,
side out,
than some other balls, but I think you're seeing a lot of prolonged points, even with the ball being as fast as it is. Incredibly durable, which is important. Also, I think, you know, you play pickleball in the wind sometimes, and this ball does better in the wind than any ball that I've ever played with, meaning it moves through the air just a little bit quicker. That's not
side out.
Whose game does this kind of ball suit better? Obviously, everyone's still kind of adjusting to it, but if you had to pick one, is it both?
Ball strikers, I would say, just because you're able to take this ball in the rise
6-1.
With good confidence that you're going to get a true bounce. So again, somebody like a Chris Haworth, I do think this ball really benefits.
Side out.
We'll stare down. Camaraderie from Jack Sock.
I've personally felt with this ball I could take bigger cuts at the ball with a lot more confidence. Up until yesterday, anyway.
1-6.
Slapper. Oh.
Padel. Off the wall.
You the Dell guy?
I've played. I'm not particularly good at it. You may have noticed my overhead is not great. Totally different game, but I think all racket sports can work in unison
2-6
with one another. Ooh, and he read it.
Side out.
Not even sure that was staying in, but in that moment, tough to make that decision to let it go. If Chris wins this one, would set up a match with Federico Stack-Strud.
And who do you think has the upper hand in that one?
My old buddy.
6-2.
Tough to say. I honestly think it could go either way. I know Chris beat him the last time they played, which was well over a year ago. Overhead put away from sock. But I also know that Fetty is so hungry and so motivated. You know, he had that incredible run last year where he won I don't know how many gold medals on the tour. I mean, he was the clear world #1 in singles. And this year he's been held without a title. So just from sensing playing against him yesterday and seeing his energy, yeah, I don't know if I'd bet against Fetty against anybody, but Chris certainly obviously beaten him before and has all the tools.
Ooh, gets jagged in the kitchen. Friendly fire from Jack Sock. Anything to get a point.
Heads up play there.
In the kitchen, moving target. Here it goes. Fire away. Pick your target. Big frame. Tall target.
If I tried that, I would miss it 100%.
Man, that's good.
Point.
Jack Sock turning it up a bit.
Timeout receiver, 4-6.
Chris Haworth will take a breather in this one. 2-point hole for Jackson. Matches here today. Still alive in men's doubles with his buddy Donald Young. Playing incredible pickleball right now. In singles, though, needs to get through Chris Haworth. Smalley won't do it. Out of the timeout taken by Chris Haworth.
Yeah, just a bit straight-legged there. Again, I think that ball dropped a little bit lower than maybe he anticipated. He's going to want that one back because, again, he doesn't miss that often.
6-4.
Wow.
Side out. You can't appeal, but you can challenge.
That's an athletic play once again for Jack Sock. The topic of highlight reel plays.
Chris imploring.
Yeah.
It was in.
I think so, too. But, yeah, how about the run, Alex, of Donald Young and Jack Sock? Won it over Zane Navratil and Connor Garnett yesterday, two veterans of the game at this point.
Yeah, Donald is playing
4-6.
some very high-level pickleball. You can tell that he takes it seriously and he wants to win. Obviously, neither of these guys, from a financial standpoint, you know, have to be out here competing. I think they're just fierce competitors. They love the sport, and they obviously love the competition.
Point.
Beautiful rope from Jack. You can tell he's been working on his two-hander. There was a point in time where he would literally hit nothing but forehands on the singles court. As pickleball has evolved, the two-handed backhand in singles and in doubles has become
5-6.
an almost necessary shot to compete. That's a great
Side
ball.
out.
Skids maybe a little bit into the body of Jack Sock.
Temperatures climbing here in Cincinnati. Starts brisk in the morning, and we're up to 80 degrees in full sunshine here at about 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Gorgeous venue,
6-5.
mint weather conditions, perfect fall day in the Midwest.
Side out.
It definitely starts to weigh on you physically, mentally when temps start to rise.
Yes, certainly. I can just tell you, I played last week in Orlando. It was about 175 degrees. I'm exaggerating, but it felt that way. And
5-6.
just tough to stay sharp mentally when you're so fatigued.
Let.
Shouldn't be a huge factor in this match, but they are having some incredibly long exchanges.
5-6.
Taking lots of time in between points, which is smart.
Side out.
Chris urging himself to move forward there. Something he and I talked about before the match. I think he's done a decent enough job of sticking to the game plan here.
Side out.
Yeah, you'll notice Chris almost exclusively volleys at the kitchen line with two hands, which can limit you just a bit. I think if he would have just dropped that one, maybe would have been an easier shot.
Oh my, did he get that?
Side out.
Chris Haworth.
Jack beside himself, cracks a wry smile. That was in.
That would be two. Chris Haworth comes up with plays like that almost routinely. It's like you think he's out of it, and then that last explosive step gets him there.
That last step.
6-5. Point.
He throws his arm. He feels like he's been on the 6 for about 10 years because he has.
Timeout receiver, 7-5.
Jack electing to take a timeout here. Maybe just recoup. Had the big shot from Chris down the line.
Yeah, you understand the timeout taken. We'll see what Jack Sock comes up with here at the...
Again, this ball bounces true,
5-7.
so if you power it through him, you're giving him another look at a passing shot. Not that time.
Side out.
Jack muttering something to himself, which is normally not a good sign for him. Chris 4 points away from a date with Federico.
Just wide.
Side out.
Yeah, that date you mentioned is not one that most competitors look forward to in singles, especially in the quarterfinal rounds. But again, 2,000 points up for grabs. Every round you advance, you collect more points. Gain ground in the rankings. Drop volley. Haworth takes a let cord, and Jack Sock cannot recover it.
Jack not thrilled by the outcome of that point. He's had a couple let courts go against him, primarily in the first game. Make him pass you here, Chris, buddy, if you want this one to be over soon.
7-5.
Oh, man, just wide, but Sock had the finishing touch he desired. 3 points, and this one's in the bag for Chris Haworth.
Again, to your point, Michelle, I think the flair is what makes him so exciting to watch.
Referee timeout. We have a challenge of the out call. The out call puts us at 8-5. We'll proceed with video review.
I think Jack knows this one is out. He just wants to catch his breath.
We got a close match elsewhere on the ground, so while this one takes place, we'll keep you posted on it. But let's head on over to the Tyson McGuffin-Marshall Brown match. We hear it's close, and let's get some eyes on it. Tyson McGuffin.
Downtown Marshall Brown, 2 points away from the quarterfinals. That would be a heck of a result.
I really like players.
Alabama native.
Yeah, I like players like Marshall Brown getting some love, earning every inch of their success.
Yeah, Marshall's certainly one of the most likable guys on tour. Don't think there are too many players out there who have a bad thing to say about Marshall Brown.
It's a full-time job as well.
Side up.
Tyson McGuffin, one of the all-time UFC fighters here in pro pickleball. This guy does not go down without a fight.
Yeah,
3-point deficit's
4 or 5
nothing.
match points yesterday.
After review, the rally stands. The ball was out. Loss of free challenge. No free challenge remaining.
Well, how
One
about
free challenge remaining.
battle
We'll resume play
2
at
in game
8-5.
2 to even stay in it. Marshall Brown seemingly had it. Door was open for him to take it. Tyson McGuffin, one of the faces of the sport.
Time in.
Marshall Brown emerging
8-5.
to greatness. 8-5 over here on center court. Chris Haworth and Jack Sock. This match has dragged on a bit.
Side out.
Playing a little bit slower in between points. Both players trying to conserve their energy.
And again, yeah, as matches, men's singles matches are prolonged in duration, I think fitness is going to become
5-8.
even more important. It's been that way on the women's side, but now the men are having to deal with it too.
Haworth closes almost a miraculous ATP. Just short for Jack Sock. Side out for Chris Haworth. And winner of that Marshall Brown Tyson McGuffin match would get Hunter Johnson in the quarterfinals.
8-5.
Oh, baby. Just sails to serve
Side
long.
out.
It's been a slow conclusion here in game 2 between these guys.
Five, 8.
Ferocious
Point.
forehand from Sock. Pulls it inside in.
Taking a towel timeout. Jack Sock wearing dark green. You can't quite see it on TV, but that dark green shirt is dark because it is full of sweat.
Slytherin colors for all you Harry Potter fans out there. Jack would honestly probably be a Slytherin.
Ah.
6-8.
How so?
Not saying he's a malicious character, but just a little bit of a trickster.
That's a lot of deception in his shots and earns another point. Chance to tie it here. 8 apiece.
I think he'd get booted from Gryffindor. 7-8, 1 point.
7-8.
Wow.
Point.
Tough one there. 8 apiece. Let's double box this, Alex. We've got a tight one with Tyson McGuffin and Marshall Brown. 9-7. McGuffin has earned just a point since we last left him.
Looks like Tyson has the serve as well.
So we're on showcase court number 1. You can catch it on the Pickleball TV app as well if you want to follow both screens. This from Jack Sock on your left.
Side out.
Correct myself, this is on grandstand. Don't want to lead you in the wrong direction. How about Tyson McGuffin in the fight?
And Tyson's somebody that you will not catch staying back. He still plays very traditional men's singles pickleball off the return. He's moving forward on every shot.
Feathery volley from Sock for the side out.
Sometimes it feels like Jack almost wants to prolong your torture out there.
Server.
Chance for Marshall Brown to go up match
timeout.
point against
9-7.
McGuffin.
Receiver.
8-8.
45
And
seconds.
timeout being taken there. Drop volley to perfection again. The battle ensues. 1 point lead over to Jack Sock, who has had to grind, to say the least, in this one.
Really would have liked to see Chris take that forehand out of the air. If he moves forward and takes it out of the air, I think that's probably his point. He lets the ball get behind him, elects for the passing shot. Jack feathers
15
the drop
seconds.
volley there. 2 points away
9-8.
from going 3.
No free challenge remaining. 1 free challenge remaining.
Oh!
Side out.
A miss hit there from Haworth actually kind of works in his favor. Jack was shading heavily to his right side. It comes right at him. Did he have to hit a tweener, Mish? Probably not.
I was just going to say.
He wasn't too far off.
He's one of the best at it.
9-7.
Let's be honest.
All right, I'm predicting 3 straight from Haworth right here.
Okay.
Wrong again.
What are your predictions from the Marshall Brown-Tyson McGuffin match?
Tyson, you know, his ability to fight point in and point out is something that is certainly unique to him. Looks like they've been stuck at 9-7 for about 10 years. The Lion has the serve. I'm taking McGuffin.
A recall. 7-9.
Side out.
Let courts galore. Tyson finally off the 7, 8-9 there.
Side out.
8-9.
Great volley from Marshall.
Point.
Jack Sock surrenders a point to Chris Haworth.
9-8.
Looks with a smile and relief.
Side out.
McGuffin chipping away at the scoreline here. Ball back to Marshall Brown.
8-9.
Spectacular backhand open stance. Nobody hits a better open stance backhand stretch
Side out.
than Chris and probably Hunter, those two.
Match point for Chris Haworth. You predicted 3 straight a moment ago. Would have been the correct prediction in this particular instance.
That's how most of my predictions are. Means they come
10-9.
true like 2 years later.
9-8.
That'll do it.
Chris Haworth takes it in 2 to move on to the quarterfinal rounds. He has a date with the world #2 in the quarterfinals, and Haworth, a dangerous player wearing the 57 seed for this Grand Slam event. Alex?
Yeah, you know, I think ultimately he did what we needed to do there. He moved forward towards the end, put the pressure on, and then comes up with a big win there.
Okay, Chris Haworth will join us at the Pickleball TV desk with Matt and Cam, and we turn our attention to mixed doubles.
Welcome back to the Veolia Cincinnati showcase. Chris Haworth taking down Jack Sock in a tight 2-game match.
New to the PPA contract, but not new to taking out big name players. Chris Haworth moving on to the quarters, taking out number 9 seed Jack Sock, but no surprise, he's taken out some giants before.
Welcome to the Pickleball TV desk. Karen Blackwood alongside Matt Manassi. And Chris, what an epic battle that was against Jack Sock. Like he said, you're no stranger to the PPA Tour, but it is official now. What went into deciding that to come over to play, and how excited are you to be in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I just felt like it was time for me. You know, I want to play the best players in the world, and they're on the PPA Tour. So that match was a perfect example. You know, I just loved being out there, getting the chance to play him, and you know, fight my heart out there.
Yeah. Thought you were going to use another word there.
Yeah, talk about it.
In that match, I thought you did such a good job of controlling from the center of the court. Jack's having to move probably way more than you, moving around his backhand, but you, it didn't matter, forehand to forehand, backhand to backhand, you were comfortable in every situation. Is that a strategy or just how you play?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he played into my patterns really well. I was trying to go my backhand to his inside out forehand. We were in that like every other point, it felt like. So it was working for me, and you know, I felt like I was winning most of the points, so I wasn't going to change it.
And then your lighthearted nature on court, it didn't matter if it was getting close, if there was some tough moments or a let cord. How do you keep it so composed out there?
You know, that's what I'm really trying to focus on the rest of this year. You know, and being new to the PPA Tour, you know, I'm like the 60th seed in this tournament. So, you know, I'm
57
looking at,
to be exact.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rest of this year just as kind of a learning experience, just trying to get out there. You know, I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, so it's good.
Love it.
We do have some highlights for you to take a look at against Jack Sock here. Where do you think the strength is? I know you said you feel very comfortable moving him side to side, but what do you think you did especially well in this match? We'll take a look.
Yeah, I felt like I was trying to get in as much as I could. He hits the ball so deep and so hard, so I felt like he was coming in a lot more than me. So towards the end of both games, you know, when it was 8-all, I think it was 8-all both games, I told myself, just force your way in, make him come up with something, make him beat you. And if he does, then it's just too good. But it worked out.
It seemed a lot of the times he was coming forward to your forehand. You'd go for, the two-shot pass, so to speak. One to the backhand, make him stretch, and then you hold the backhand so well. You could take that same shot with the same backswing 3 different places.
Yeah, he was doing a great job of dropping off my first pass, so I felt like I was always moving forward, always kind of having to fight for it, and I got some balls below the net.
And I want to talk about your support system here. Isabella Dunlap, another Okie. She was on the side giving you tips. How much did she help you out there?
Yeah, the Okies are few, but we're strong. We're coming up the pickleball ranks, so I was happy to have her there. It's always just nice to have some support on your side.
I know you say this is a learning year for you, but we saw Hunter Johnson come over, and his seed was also about 48, 49th, and now he's #1 in the world. What's your expectation coming over here?
Yeah, I looked at him, and saw what he did, and it's great for me to know that it's possible and know that, I don't have to do it right away. I think sometimes I put a little too much pressure on myself. So just knowing that it's a process, and if it takes 6 months, 8 months, or a year like it did for him, then I'm ready for it.
And you have a fun one next, Federico Staxfruit in the quarters.
Perfect.
You've taken him out before.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier. So another day, I'll keep fighting.
Well, congratulations to you, Chris Haworth. Moving on.